Hi, my name's Tim Campbell, founder of the Bright Ideas Trust and the first winner of the BBC show The Apprentice.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
I'm. Okay. Can we start again?
We can just pick up from that, can't we?
I'm near the end of my A-levels, but I'm still unsure about what my career path's going to be. I know your experience, like winning the Apprentice. What's your background and how successful would you think an apprenticeship could be?
See, my background, I used to do lots of second-hand jobs, cleaning cookers, doing all menial stuff to learn how business actually worked. So whatever I invested in terms of time, I'd get back. And that taught me that whatever I wanted, I could get by using my head and my hands. It was really important for me to get that lesson from early. But what I found very quickly is that when I worked for Sir Alan, the real way to make money and be successful is to have a really good idea you're passionate about and focus on that, because business is difficult. Even just working as an employee is difficult. And if you're not really enthused about it, come Monday morning, a sickie comes in, you're not interested, you don't want to go to work. Life's too short, basically. You've got, now at this time when you're just thinking about what to do, you've got a perfect opportunity where you're surrounded by people who want to support you. Use that wisely, because very soon you'll go out into the big wide world and not many people will really care, to be perfectly frank, because it's a competitive environment. What you've got now is the opportunity to really say, I'm going to be X, and that could be a doctor, a lawyer, accountant, and actually make that happen. I really envy people like that, because I still today don't know what I want to do. But I don't think that's a bad thing. And if you're in a situation where you don't know what to do, don't see it as a negative, because I've been allowed to have lots of different experiences because I haven't shut off everything and I've said, I just want to do this. You've got to be a certain type of person to take those risks, but for me, it's a very rewarding path to take.
You did a degree in psychology, I think. How was university for you?
Yeah, I did a good degree in psychology. I was lucky enough to get a 2-1 after messing up my first year and partying far too much and drinking far too much cheap student union alcohol. But for me, my university degree was much more about getting a piece of paper. And that sounds really bad and really negative, but the way university was sold to me by my mum was that in order to get on, you had to have this piece of paper. What she did say was positive was that once you get it, no one can take it from you. They can take your clothes, they can take your shoes, but they can't take what's in your head. So that was important. But I went to university for the wrong reasons. I went just because I wanted to get on. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I think today is a lot different from when I went to university, because when I went to uni, I got a grant to go and it was a lot easier to get in. And not many people were going, and degrees were valued in a different way. Whereas today, there's lots of criticism about the value of degrees, lots of people doing pottery class degrees and geography degrees, and people are saying that degrees aren't worth the paper they're written on. In addition to that, you've now got to pay for the courses, and you could come out with quite a big substantial student debt after having to have subsidised loans for the course. So I'd really sit down and think about if university is the right thing for you as an individual. Is your career that you want to go into, does it dictate that you have to have a degree? And if it doesn't, you might want to think about going and finding a different path to get to your successful point. And that could be a secondment with somebody, it could be an apprenticeship, it could be working just free and being mentored by somebody. There's lots of different ways to get into the field that you want to without just going down the path of getting a degree.
So you did an apprenticeship with Sir Alan Sugar. How did you find the apprenticeship? Did you learn lots of new business skills?
For me, the apprenticeship was brilliant. Working with Sir Alan and seeing a real business person at work was fantastic. Understanding the theory of it, which you can learn in a classroom, was completely different from the reality actually in the business environment. And I got so much more in terms of confidence, knowledge, and just the ability to make things happen by working for somebody who'd already been there and done it. University was brilliant in terms of it taught me how to be independent, to stand on my own 2 feet, and how to research information and then how to put it into a tangible, logical form where somebody can have a reasoned argument. However, the stuff that I learned at university, you could ask me questions on it now and I probably wouldn't be able to tell you. And all I'm saying is that university is only one path. Lots of people think that's the only way to be successful. You've got to have a degree, etc. In a competitive environment, lots of more people do have degrees, but there's no point getting a degree that doesn't mean anything and wasting 3 years of your time. You've got to see your time as an investment. And if you invest wisely into your bank account now with the right kind of qualifications or the right kind of experience, depending on which way you want to go, when you go back to retrieve your winnings from your bank account, you'll see your investment would have grown exponentially. But if you invest into your bank account now with just any old course or any old degree, when you go back to seek rewards from that bank account, you'll see your investment would have eroded. So be very careful about your choice, because it is important.
Oh, great. Do you do skills with young people as well as businesses?
We do an awful lot of work with skills with young people. I'm really passionate about working with individuals who are 16 to 30 who have a bright idea, and the name of the company is the Bright Ideas Trust, because we think there's lots of young people who understand what other young people want and can actually produce goods and services that are relevant to that market. Big organisations like Nike, MTV, Vodafone, they pay a lot of money to speak to young people to find out what interests them so they can sell them products and services as a result. I now focus on young people coming up with ideas amongst themselves, creating businesses and something they're passionate about, which they can then be financially supported with under a business. I think the problem is that lots of young people are enthusiastic about an idea but don't know where to get real world advice how to actually start it, or to find financial support to actually get it off the ground, because if you come out of uni with a student debt, you can't go to the bank manager and ask him for a business loan. It's not going to work. Yeah. So what we do, we provide them with cash, mentors and advisors who can give them everything they need to start up their company. I'm just really passionate about people thinking about the 5 Ps of business, and this is why we started it up. First, you've got to be passionate, as I've already talked about. You've got to really love what you're actually going to do. You've got a plan. You've got to set a plan for what you want to achieve. Now, in a business term, that's a business plan which sets out what the business is going to achieve. But you've got to have a personal plan as well. What do you want your life to be like in a couple of years' time? I know everyone asks that silly question, but if you've got a feeling that you want to be a nice high-powered guy, a nice car, with a nice house, etc., nothing wrong with that. But if you're not doing stuff now to make that happen, it's not just going to fall in your lap. So get something together and get a plan. The third one's partnerships, and that's about finding people who can assist you to get where you want a lot quicker. A lot of people will tell you that no man's an island, and it's so very true, particularly in business, but also in what you're going to do. Find a teacher, a mentor, somebody who can give you the assistance you need to get to where you aim to go to. Perseverance is the next one. Everything we do in life is going to be hard. You're going to fall over, you're going to scrape your knee, but you've got to just get up and then go on and try again. If it's not worth doing, it's not going to be hard. Believe me, but the rewards will be fantastic. The 5th P for me is planetary assistance, and that means a bit of luck. You've got to have the planets in alignment, and some opportunity you've got to land on its feet, but you've got to be able to see it and grab it with both hands. Meaning you could be in exactly the same situation and see something completely different, and the difference is if you see it and you grab it, you're the one who's going to be successful. If you implement those 5 Ps, you should be all right.
Well, that's great advice. Thanks very much for your time.